Coronation Street's Debbie, set to uncover Carl's disturbing Billy blackmail plan. Could this be Carl's cruelest move so far? Next week in Coronation Street, Debbie Webster is left horrified when she once again sees the darker side of her son Carl, after discovering that he offered Summer Spellman crucial information about Billy Mayhew's death in return for her inheritance money. Recently released from prison, Debbie decides to arrange a holiday with her close friends to mark her new sense of freedom and make the most of a fresh start. But the celebratory plans are soon thrown into chaos when Bernie Winter Allahan drops a bombshell, revealing that Carl has made Summer a shocking and manipulative proposal. He tells her that if she wants to finally learn the truth, she must give him the money she received from Billy's life insurance payout. This could easily be the most twisted scheme Carl has come up with so far, a Coronation Street insider explains. Taking advantage of Billy's adopted daughter and trying to strip away the last bit of financial security she has left from her father is unbelievably cruel, especially after everything he's already done to try and drain Debbie financially. And the fact that he still hasn't gone to the police about Theo himself just shows how deeply selfish and morally bankrupt Carl really is. If this doesn't finally open Debbie's eyes to what her son is capable of, it's hard to imagine what will. Determined to get answers for herself, Debbie calls Carl to her flat and confronts him directly over the disturbing blackmail accusations. During the tense showdown, Carl admits that he overheard Billy's killer confessing, but despite that, he still refuses to reveal who was responsible. Debbie is left utterly appalled by how cold and self-serving her son is willing to be. Debbie desperately wants Carl to deny the claims, our insider continues, but once she realizes the allegations are true, it becomes too much for her to handle. In a burst of anger, she throws him out, but the stress of the confrontation ends up having heartbreaking consequences for Debbie. The emotional clash with Carl sadly causes some of Debbie's dementia symptoms to flare up, and a worried Ryan Connor later finds his boss staring blankly into space in a deeply unsettling moment. Carl's latest actions may also spell trouble for Theo Silverton, the man who abandoned Billy and left him to die during the devastating Corriedale crash earlier this year. When Theo later reflected on what he had done while alone with Billy's body at the funeral parlor, Carl happened to overhear the entire confession. Up until now, Carl has kept Theo's dark secret to himself, but that silence may not last much longer as future episodes unfold. Speaking to Inside Soap back in February, actor James Cartwright, who plays Theo, hinted at the explosive conflict still to come. "It's basically two villains going head-to-head to claim the top spot," he said. "It's a bit like watching two silverback gorillas fighting in the jungle. When one wins, they take over everything the other one had, their place, their power, their whole world. That's how it feels between Theo and Carl. It's very much a case of winner takes all. They're already starting to turn against each other, and that tension is only going to grow into full-blown hatred." Ronnie left furious in Coronation Street as Carl makes Debbie's condition even worse. In upcoming Coronation Street scenes, Carl Webster proves once again that he still hasn't found any sense of right and wrong, even after everything his mum Debbie Webster has sacrificed for him. Before the devastating Corriedale crash, Carl had been secretly stealing money from Debbie. He pulled this off by transferring funds from a hotel account while quietly pocketing part of the money for himself. For instance, if a customer needed to settle a large payment, Carl would deliberately lie about the total cost and then move the extra cash into his own personal account. Things spiraled even further after Debbie and Ronnie Bailey's wedding, when the reckless Carl got drunk and decided to drive away from the venue. Debbie was sitting in the passenger seat and desperately pleaded with him to slow down, but his irresponsible actions ended up playing a major role in the events that later unfolded during the Corriedale disaster. In the end, Debbie chose to take the blame for Carl's actions and was sent to prison for drink driving. You might expect such a huge sacrifice from his mother would have been enough to make Carl rethink his behavior, or at least change the way he treats Debbie. But that is far from the case. In episodes still to come, Summer Spellman continues to search for answers about what really happened on the day Billy Mayhew died. As a newly released Debbie chats about the possibility of going on a girls' getaway with Christina Boyd, Sally Metcalf, Glenda Shuttleworth, and Bernie Winter, the atmosphere quickly shifts. The mood turns sour when Bernie reveals that Carl has offered to give Summer some important information about Billy's death, but only if she hands over the money from Billy's life insurance. Shocked and disgusted by what she hears, Debbie wastes no time in confronting Carl over Summer's claim. During a tense discussion at the flat, Carl admits that he overheard someone confessing to Billy's murder, but refuses to say who it was. Later on, Debbie is seen staring blankly into the distance, and Ryan Connor soon realizes with concern that she is experiencing another one of her episodes. Deeply worried about Debbie, Ryan later informs Ronnie about the argument between her and Carl, explaining that the emotional confrontation appears to have triggered yet another episode. Coronation Street's Sam Blakeman continues to suffer after Megan Walsh and Will Driscoll drama in early ITVX episode. Warning: this article contains spoilers for Tuesday's episode of Coronation Street, which will air at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is already available to watch on ITVX. In Coronation Street, Sam Blakeman is beginning to struggle emotionally after enduring weeks of threats and manipulation from predatory Megan Walsh and her victim, Will Driscoll. The pair had been involved in a hidden relationship and appeared willing to go to extreme lengths to stop Sam from revealing what he had discovered. In a desperate effort to back up his suspicions, Sam tried hard to gather proof and even went as far as placing a hidden camera inside Megan's flat. However, his plan was turned against him when Megan threatened to accuse him of being a voyeur. Following the ordeal, Sam became increasingly overwhelmed and started relying on ADHD medication to cope with his stress, before eventually collapsing in the street. His former stepmother, Leanne Battersby, realized that Sam was dealing with far more than just the pressure of his upcoming GCSE exams, and she became determined to uncover what had really been going on. Sam eventually opened up and confessed everything, prompting the Driscoll family to go to the police station and officially report Megan. Sadly, because there was not enough evidence, the police were unable to bring any charges against her. Earlier this week, Will's stepmother, Eva Price, encouraged him to apologize to Sam for everything he had put him through, explaining that Sam had started counseling in an attempt to recover from the trauma. At first, it appeared that the two boys had managed to move on, much to the relief of both Eva and Leanne. But later, Will took back his apology and warned Sam that he needed to watch himself. As viewers already know, Will is still secretly seeing Megan and remains deeply attached to her. In today's episode, Will was out walking with his new friend Liam Connor when they unexpectedly ran into Sam.